Hi, I'm Monica with Purified Cosmetics, and I have a TikTok channel. And there has been a request for me to do a video on the ratio of creating a formulation for skincare. There's going to be a lot of things to cover, so I'm going to try to keep it simplified for you. For example, I've watched TikTok videos and I've seen a lot of individuals making body butters, and in fact their emulsions are not good, they're freezing them. I'm going to tell you what the do's and don'ts are to do in skincare, formulating skincare. For example, there was a lady there, and I'm not bashing anybody, I'm just giving you an example because I tried to help her, who her body butter melted and a customer sent it back, and she stated that it was normal for it to melt, and that is not true. If you have a stable emulsion, what is an emulsion? Let me give you an example of what an emulsion is. There's three different kinds of emulsions. Emulsion is when you put two different phases together in cosmetics and it becomes stable. They always separate, but when you formulate correctly, they will not separate. And I'll get in more details with that. In this case, I reached out to her and I said, well, did you freeze your body butters? And she stated she did. And I told her, don't do that because it becomes unstable emulsion. And she says, it doesn't matter how it formulates emulsion and things of that nature. Well, if you're making skincare for personal use or even for business, you want the best results for your skin. You want the benefits of what the skin is, and it's all about your emulsion, it being stabilized, and then you reap the benefits of skincare and what kind of ingredients that you add into it as well. So the don'ts that you don't do. Anyway, she got offended, and I'm sorry. I was just trying to help. I'm always trying to help anyone excel and be successful in business or even for personal care. So, an emotion. How do you stabilize an emotion? What you do and do not do. Don't do. Do's and don'ts. Don't use tablespoons or cup measurements. That will be definitely an emulsion that does not stabilize. In fact, I've noticed individuals putting cupfuls and cupfuls and cupfuls of shea butter. You don't really even need that much butter, maybe 33 grams. I mean, to make a 4 ounce. And I will tell you how to formulate a skincare product, a formula, how to create one. But I want to let you know, don't do that, because what happens if you overuse a product, it ends up clogging pores, it causes breakouts, it becomes unstable, especially if you're not formulating correctly. What you do always want to have is a calculator. You want to calculate your formulation before you even create the skincare product. You will need one of these. Uh, it's just, I got this from Amazon. I maybe paid $16 for it. You can do ounces, grams on here. I use grams because I convert my percents to grams, and I'm going to simplify that for you. Just give me a minute. Instead of using a cup measuring, use one of these. This is the easiest things to use. You just take your product in it, boop, 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 put it inside one of your beakers. I'm going to show you one of my products that I made too. These you can purchase from Amazon. I got 100 for $3. Do not, again, use measuring cups because you're not going to have a stable formulation. You just want one of these. You don't need a lot of ingredients to make an amazing product. You just need to have a formulation that is stable, the emulsion. So again, these on Amazon, $3. This is what I use. More often than not, a lot of individuals say don't use water. Most of skincare products that are out on the market, they use water. Distilled water or purifying water is preferable. If you don't want to buy it, they cost $1 for a gallon. For distilled water, I use distilled water. You can use purifying water. Again, there's three phases to formulation, and we'll get into that, but you want to use the best thing. Water is great for hydration, but water also emulsifies other products and brings them together and makes them stable as well. So most of your products are going to be mostly of water, and again, little by little, we'll get into how you formulate. But again, the do's and don'ts is don't use measuring cups. Don't use tablespoons. Use one of these. That's all you need. And I'll show you. I'm going to be going back and forth to my little stock over here and show you other things that I can use. These I got for about $6, and they're just different things that I use to stir with. I have a mini blender. You use blenders. You can still do a body with body butter if your emulsion is stable, and you can have an amazing one at that. And now again, I've tried to put some of these formulations up there, but it's up to you and how you want it. Again, if you're using it for personal use, if you're using it for a business, you want to give your customers the best outcome benefits of your skincare. And it's all about that formulation and how you're formulating. And if you have a body butter, it will not melt. You don't need to freeze it. The only time you freeze, and this is what, we'll get into that, is when you're testing a product. And how you test it, and I'll just give you a little brief description, is like, say, for example, my aloe moisturizer that I made. I tested this for 3 months. 3 months. So what I did was stick it into the freezer, thaw it out, stick it in again, thaw it out 3 times, and I tested the pH level, the consistency of the emulsion, and I put it in an incubator for 3 months, and I tested. After that 3 months, during that 3 months phase, I tested to see if there was any kind of bacteria growing in it, if the pH balance was still good, and things of that nature. So I will do a video on that at a later time, but that's the only time that you would freeze, but you would not freeze to go send on the market. I even seen an individual on TikTok freeze her body butter before she shipped it. No, you don't need to do that when you have a stable emulsion. And yes, an emulsion is any 2 phases that come together. For example, body butter and oil, oil and water. You want to use 2 different emulsifiers to hold that together. Anything that is an emulsion that is coming together is an emulsion. And unfortunately, some people will debate that. But it is what it is. I can't change how physics goes in science. So anyways, let's get to, go ahead and take your notes at this time, and I'll write down a formula and give you the example because it was requested. How do you formulate skincare? How do you know what the ratio is? For example, lecithin, this is a certified organic product that I put into my facial washes. And I didn't put it in this one. I use a different formula on that. But for example, every product that you buy, and I don't recommend, I forgot to tell you, don't purchase stuff over Walmart, Target. Don't go buy tree oil there. Don't buy aloe vera juice. This is the type of aloe vera you want to use. Why? Because they're just like you and I. They're formulating and they're putting it on the shelf. So what they have in their ingredients, they've already added other things to that factor, to that, like for example, tree tea oil. It's not just single tree tea. They've already formulated that. So you want the purest, natural vegan. If you do vegan, I do vegan and cruelty-free, which means that my products are not tested on animals. A lot of products are tested on animals, so it's up to you. That I don't use that. It has to be vegan and cruelty-free for me, my preference. But for example, lotioncraft.com, makingcosmetics.com, wholesalesuppliesplus.com, and there's a lot of different vendors out there, but those are mostly the 3 that I use to buy my ingredients for my skincare. They're all going to have a description of what this product is. You may get it and it doesn't have it on here. Most of them do. But when you read that website and you say, yeah, I want to purchase this lecithin certified organic product, it's going to tell you the percent. This is where the confusion gets in, okay? The percents is going to already be in there. Some have a wide range. This one has a 0-5% usage, what you use it in, right? So for me, what I preferably use is a 4%. So that would be 4 grams. Take away the percent because you're converting it over to 4 grams. And I would write that down. This is how you start. Pick out your ingredients. Say, okay, for example, I want to make this face wash. I'm going to use my lecithin, or I'm just using an example, maybe some aloe vera juice, Maybe I'm going to use natural silk. This is a natural, this is epic. We'll get into that one more. But you got to know what you want to put in your product. It's all about you and how you want to present to your customer. What skincare benefits does it have? Every ingredient is going to tell you the skincare benefits. Is it a surfactant? Is it a humectant? Is it an emollient? Is it an active ingredient? It's going to tell you what it is. Is it an exfoliating ingredient? It's going to tell you. It depends on what you want to use and your preference and how much percent you want to put in it. So, for example, just take 10. Let's say you're putting 5 ingredients in. You're going to go, if they're not on the bottle, most of them are. If they're not, go back to your supplier. Like, for example, I'll look up, just to give you an example, on my phone, lotioncrafts.com. I love that one, but they're a little pricey. I buy from there a lot. .com, okay? And I'm just going to put in here just to give you an idea of how to start your own, because you can be confused. I'm going to try my best to give it to you, simplify it, okay? Let's do avocado butter. Don't buy avocado butters from Walmart. You always want to get them organic or it's up to you, but avocado butter. I'm just going to show you an example, okay? This might be a little bit of a long video, but I'm trying my best to explain. Okay, avocado oil. Let's just get that one. I love avocado oil. It leaves your skin very soft. Your emulsions are very soft and moisturizing to the skin. Now, so here we go. You're going to see here, this is 2 ounces for $5.95, right? But if you scroll down, it's going to give you the information about that product. It's going to tell you where it came from, what it does, what skin benefits. It's excellent penetrating qualities and things into the skin. Those are the kinds of things that you want to know. You want to search your ingredient out and what you want to use. Why, what are you going to get? What kind of benefit are you going to give your customers or even yourself if it's for personal use? You want to know those things. Then it's going to say formulation guide, right? That's where it's going to tell you this usage rate is 1 to 100%. So I got a big range, and it's kind of like, how do I know how much to put in? It's up to you on how much you want to put in. Okay. So this one says 1 to 100%. I usually use about 6%, which is 6 grams. Okay. It's up to you on what you want to do. And it will also tell you where to put this in. If it's it'll tell you the color of it, dark amber to reddish oil. It gives you a lot of information. So whatever it is you're making, how you're going to formulate, right? Sit down and think about, do I want to do a moisturizer? Do I want to do a face mask? Face mask, you can put oils in that as well, but they would be a little bit different on how you do the emulsion on it, okay? Do you want to do a serum? Do you want to do a moisturizer, body? But whatever it is that you are targeting for either personal use or for your business, whatever it is, write down those ingredients. I'm giving you an example. I write it down before you even make it. Should be 100%. So how do you make the formula? Let's get into that. I'll write down a formula and take you step by step. I'm just going to go off at the top of my head. Let's just say I'm going to make a moisturizer, okay? I will tell you whether it's a body butter, moisturizer, cream, whatever you're using, the best results you're going to get is if you use an emulsifier in it for your emulsion. 2 emulsifiers. I like to use cetyl alcohol, Oleum 1000. There's BTM 50s. There's different ones. Again, before I write down my thing, I want to know how much percent I'm going to use. There's a water phase, oil phase, and a cool down phase, all right, to a formulation. And I know I'm kind of probably going to be a little bit confusing. So you're going to want you want 2 beakers to begin with. 1 for your water phase, 1 for the oil phase, and at the end phase, you're always going to pour in the water phase into the oil phase. Never oil phase, but vice versa. It just will mess it all up. So if I want to make a moisturizer, let's just say I'm making aloe vera, aloe. Okay, this is just an example. do I want to use to give my benefits to my customers? Again, I'm going to strongly recommend some ingredients maybe you can start off with that are amazing benefits for the skin, but it's up to you. Again, you can go onto those websites. It gives you from A to Z active ingredients. It shows you surfactants. It shows you emollients. What is an emollient? It cleanses the face. It gives you different things. You could do a research and just look at what is it that you want to make. I can't make that up for you. It's up to you on what you want to make, but I will show you some of my key ingredients that I really, really love to use. I like using vitamin B3 and vitamin B C. That's niacinamide. They're great benefits for the skin. They're hydration. They moisturize the skin. They replenish the skin. They do different functions. But let me just show you a couple ingredients, right? And then we'll get into making the formulation. These are just water phase. This is what I would put it in my water phase. This is going to go into a water phase. D-alpathanol, that's vitamin B5. That's also a moisturizer for the skin, hydrates the skin. If you're in skincare, you want to kind of ask your customers what kind of skin you have, because basically you could be making skincare that is not going to be beneficial to that person because their skin is dry, or maybe their skin is oil, maybe they have acne prone skin. I have chamomile. Would that be, you need to know different things that are beneficial for the skin and what your target is. But D-alpathanol, I got this from Lotion Craft. You can read about it on there. This is great. I usually put this in everything that I make. Again, it's a moisturizer. It's a vitamin B5. It hydrates the skin. It actually helps with wrinkles, refined lines, and things like that. You can put this in even a mask. You want your products to be unique, right? It's up to you. Again, if this is for personal or if it's going to be for a business, you want to use something that's an eye catcher that someone else isn't just using. You want to be you. Okay, fluid acid, this is something different. This is like for serums. If you want to use serums, this is great for anti-aging products. Oops, sorry about that. But allantoin is amazing. This stuff is amazing. I only use 0.5. How do I we'll get the calculation percent, but it'll say, I know this percentage rate is 0.5 to 5%. Or not even that. Let's look it up just to make sure. I could be wrong on that. I always use I think it's 0.5 to 1% actually. Let's go back to Lotion Craft. And you got to get used to this, because if you want to really make an awesome product, you have to do your research. And before you even start formulating, you got to write this stuff down. And I always go back and check over and over again just to see what kind of percentage. And it's up to you how much percents you use. This stuff can be expensive. This one's, we'll look it up. It's up to you. Lotion Craft. Okay, there it is. Then I'm going to go to, I hope this is helping, allantoin. You just put it in the search. And here it is. It's $3.95, not per ounce though. Watch this. Some of these can be expensive. This one's 1 ounce, $3.95. But let's go down to the information that this is a widely used in cosmetics. It's in dermatology. They use this stuff. These are natural stuff as well. Pharmaceuticals use the information. It tells you allantoin has a moisturizing effect, increasing the water contact and enhancing upper layers of dead skin. So it's a great vitamin B. It's great for anti-irritating if your skin is irritating. It just gives you a wide reason of why you use it, right? But I want to show you the formulation guide is going to be here. And it's going to tell you to incorporate a 0.5 allantoin, right? Wait, no, that's not it. I'm sorry. It's actually recommended use is 0.1 to 2%. I usually use a 0.5, which is 0.30 grams. That's what I use in it. You don't need very much. It's really good. but this would be soluble for in the water phase. It tells you all that stuff. So example, like I said, I like using allantoin. You can use whatever you want to use. Like I said, if you just go on to these websites and you look at the active ingredients, all the different ingredients, start reading. Just take a day, a couple hours just to read different ingredients. I like certain ingredients. It's all preferably how you want to target your business, the people you want to use, the business. So let's get down to it. So I always write water phase, oil phase, and cool down phase so that I know I have my formula there as I'm creating my thing. So I always write water phase. And there's a reason why we're doing this. Is how you formulate. I will put, you're going to do the water, like I said, let's put 0.5%, which is actually, I will show you how to calculate that. I don't know if you can see that because this light is kind of bright. Hopefully you can. 0.5 allantoin. I already know what I'm going to put in. I'm just using an example. Niacinamide, vitamin B. I like to use 2% of that. How do I know how? Again, go back to the website, wherever you're buying your products. It's going to give you always the percentage used. So that's how you're going to know. So I'm going to put vitamin B, niacinamide. That's a great product. What else would I like to use into, let's just say I'm making, let's do, I said I was going to do aloe moist. So, obviously I'm going to use aloe vera. So you can use aloe vera juice or powder. So let's go on to the website again. I'm just trying to help you with your formula. I know it's tedious, but then you can see, because the whole thing about making a formula is knowing how much use to use, how much percent use to do with. We are going to be working with. So we're just going to go right back where I put my cell phone and show you, because you're going to do this every time. It's tedious work. That's why you're going to charge for that labor work. I don't charge too much, but okay. Lotion crafter again. We're just going there, and like I said, this is for your benefit that I do all this. This is what I do. I already know how much percent. I'm going to use 2%, but it's really up to you. Let's put aloe vera juice. Aloe vera. Click. Lotion craft. It has aloe vera powder. That is very expensive, but I love it. It's better than the aloe vera juice. But to start off, you might want to just start off with, just you can use 200, 100 times. Aloe vera juice, $3.95 compared to $12, not even an ounce. So these things can get expanded into 8 ounces is $3.95. Well, that went down. That's pretty good. So anyways, let's look again. It's going to tell you the benefits of the skincare. This is what you want to know. This is how you formulate. You want to know what benefit are you going to bring to your audience. What are you trying to give to your audience in their skincare or hair products? Whatever it is you're making. What is it that you had to figure this out for yourself? That's what I had to do. So again, let's just see. It's extracted from the plant. It can be used in creams, lotions, tropical sprays. It can be used in a variety of different things, right? I'm just giving you an example of what it tells you is good. Let's look at the formulation guide. You're always going to have it. pH supplied 3.5 to 5.0. That's just the pH level it's telling you about. We'll get into the pH. Recommended usage rate, 1 to 100%. I use 2% because I add other things. The percentage rate is entirely up to you how much you want to use. If you don't mind using 40% in 120, this is 2 ounces, 60 grams, 60 milligrams. Okay. It's up to you. It's all about your preference again and how much usage. You can go from 1 to 100%. 100 grams, I wouldn't recommend that unless you made it. I mean, that's an awful lot of aloe vera juice. And so I'm going to use 2% because I have other stuff I'm going to add to it. So 2% aloe vera. What else do I want to put in this moisturizer? And again, when you look, it's going to tell you what phase to put these in. So don't be worried about, well, how do I know if it's an oil phase? How do I know if it's a cool down phase? How do I, you read on the ingredients? That's how you're going to know. So it's just a lot of research when you're formulating. It's a lot of research, and which, and again, the benefits. I know I sound like I'm saying the same thing over again, but I'm just trying to help you how to write your formulation. Okay, so I have allantoin, I have vitamin B, aloe vera. I like using propylene glycol. Let me show you. This is a great. Let me grab it just to kind of give you an idea. This is propylene glycol. This, okay, glycerin. This is the opposite of it. Glycerin has a sticky feel on the skin. It don't matter what you make. That's great for a mask, not this. Um, Moisturizers, these are sticky feel. Sticky feel. If you want to get rid of the sticky feel, there's two ingredients you can use. You can use this. This is natural silk, or you can use. Oops, sorry, I thought I heard something. Or you can use. Let me show you the. I know it's a lot, but if you don't want that sticky feeling on your skin, glycerin is always going to leave sticky feel, but it's a great hydration for the skin. This is exactly what this does. The same thing as glycerin, except it doesn't have a sticky feel to it. I myself don't like putting sticky feels in any kind of products except for masks. So I revert to using this. Has the same benefits as glycerin does. It hydrates the skin, but then again, like I said, go back to your, this one I got, you can get this on Lotion Crafter or Making Cosmetics, or even it's a little bit more pricey on, what do you call it, Wholesale Supplies Plus website, but this stuff is great. Anyway, so how much do I want to put at 2%? I use everything at 2%. Doesn't mean it's not going to be effective. It is going to, because whatever, as long as your emulsion is stable, all these ingredients are going to be activated. So that's why it's so important. If your emulsion is not is stable, it's going to separate. It's not going to, these ingredients are not going to be active at all. So I'm just giving you examples of what, so I'm going to write that down, 2%, 2%. Propylene glycol. There's different things you want to make. Now, and a moisturizer, if you're using a BAH, I'll do a video on that. How do you make a BAH? Like, different, that's great for the skin. We'll get into that. I'll do that at another time. But I'm just going to give you the formulation, okay? Using examples. What else do I want to use? D-alpathanol. Like I said, 2%. 2%. D-alpathanol. You just, again, it's all about the ingredients. You can read about different ingredients. That's what you guys start your research. I got to do a little bit of water. I'm thirsty. All right. What else would I like to put in that? You can put chamomiles, green teas. You can put anything in a moisturizer. Again, it's your preference. Am I using anti-aging? This is not going to be an anti-aging. Again, on those websites, if you want anti-aging elements in a face mask or a moisturizer serum, it's there. You can look at anti-aging ingredients. Those tend to get a little bit more expensive, and I'll do another video. Retinol, for example, that is so expensive for not even a gram, for like 0.25 grams. It's not even 1 ounce, not even 1 ounce. You're going to pay $50. I know other anti-aging elements that work just as great as retinol. I don't use retinol. I can't afford it. That means I would have to like put that at $70 for somebody. And that's not really, it's up to you. It's really, again, formulating is your preference, what you could afford. And it takes time to come up with it. So let's get back to here. What else would I like to use in here? So far I have allantoin, I have vitamin B, aloe vera. Aloe vera is great for repairing skin irritations. Propylene glycol, again, glycerin is the same thing as this, except it doesn't have a sticky feel. If you don't mind the sticky feel, or your customers don't mind the sticky feel, use it. It has the same benefits. D-alpathanol. Okay, we're going to stop there. You can put anything, extracts, go into phase, water phase or cool down phase, not oil phase, okay? So if you want to use extracts, any kind of like chamomile extract. Like I did this, no, that's you can put that in here, chamomile inside up here as well. Chamomile's okay. So let's just say I want to use 2% chamomile extract, and we'll leave it at that. Chamomile. Come up, chamomile, right? You're gonna start putting a line through because then we're gonna do that. So let's just say that's all I want. You can put anything you want in there. You can put your extracts in there. You can put those are mainly what I use in my cool down, my water phase. The water, you're gonna leave a line for the water, okay? But we're not getting there. The water phase is gonna be subtracted after I add all these up, and then I'm gonna put it in there. So now I want to do oil phase, an oil phase. Here in oil phase is where you can add your body butters, any oils you like to use, your emulsifiers. Um, lecithin goes into the oil phase. Again, when you read on your ingredients, you're going to see in there, it'll tell you water phase, oil phase, cool down phase. So then you're not going to be confused, like where I put these, because if you read about it and you take your time out with your ingredients, you're going to know exactly where to put those ingredients. This, I'm going to put lecithin. So I already know, okay, I'm going to use 4%. Remember, 0.25% usage of the lecithin. I like using 4%. What does it do? It emulsifies. It brings these together. This is a different face wash I use, but you can use this in lotions and moisturizers as well. I use it in face washes. But for argument's sake, you can put it in a lotion and cream it. It really does hold and stabilize that emulsion. So we'll just say 4% lecithin. Do you want now? Here comes the emulsion. Your emulsion is the most important thing when it comes to formulations. Like I stated before, if that emulsion is not correct, what happens is going to separate over a time period. Emulsions separate. The easiest way to keep an emulsion together, even without oil, you don't always, people think, oh, you only put emulsifiers in there if you're using oil and water. No, 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 no. To stabilize a emulsion, you do want your emulsifiers that holds it up together. So that's important. I use two different ones, and I'll show it to you just for argument's sake. Just let me clear off some of my stuff because and then I'm going to show you my end result. Okay, give me one moment. This is Olivin 1000. That's an emulsifier. This one, cetyl alcohol emulsifying wax. I have lots of different ones. I have BTM 50s. I have different types of them. It does not matter which one you use. As long as you use two emulsifiers, it's going to hold in body butters better, moisturizers. I don't use them in really face washes. But things like those you want to use. I have a lot of them, but for argument's sake, I'm not going to get all into it right now. But we will be talking about this pH meter in a minute. Okay. So, anyways, lecithin. We listed that. I want to use. I want to calculate because you can use lecithin. I mean, not lecithin. Cetyl alcohol. It's up to you. If you want a thin, let's say moisturizer, you want a thin moisturizer, you don't want a very thick one, I would recommend 3%, 3.5% on that. But I like it a little bit thicker because when you emulsion it together, these emulsifiers actually have great benefits on the skin as well. You can read about them, but let's just say 5 divided by 100, because this is how I might calculate times 60 grams. 3 grams. So let's say I want to use 3.3 grams, right? I'm going to use 5% of that cetyl alcohol. Let's just look it up just so you can see. I know I'm all over the place, but this is what you have to do. If you really want to, it's time consuming, but once you get used to it, okay, we're back here. Cetyl alcohol. Let's look it up. I just want you to be able to be precise because this is all about, and it's not very expensive. This is this one for 8 ounces, $5.95, right? Now I want to go down. It's going to tell you everything. This is a stabilizer. You see that? 2 emulsifiers, and there is a stabilizer. You want to stable your emulsion. I use 2 just to be sure. It has emollient properties, right, to the formulation. It's good for lotion scrubs. It tells you a breakdown of what it is for, right? So formulation guide, it all has this on 1 to 30%. So I'm going to use 5. Actually, I'm going to use 5 because I like mine a little bit thicker. Let's see. So your range again on the percent, it's saying right here. I don't know if you can see it because of that light. I don't know, but this one I got some of my soda there. 1 to 30%. It's your preference on how much percent you want to use. Okay. I'm going to say if I want to put 6 grams, let's see how many that would be. And I'll give you the formulation right now when we're done with this. Then we're going to show you how to calculate. That's what everybody's wanting to know about right now. Okay. So I'm going to use to get 6 grams. If you want 3 grams, use 5. But I'm going to put 10 because I like it a little bit bigger. So 10% cetyl alcohol. And then we're going to use that emulsify. You can, if you don't have Olevium 1000, I suggest you buy it. It's really good. It makes really soothing and soft. It really brings in your emulsion really nice. But we'll just use emulsifying wax, 10%. What else would you put in there? It's up to you. If you want to add butters, oils, I don't use a lot of oils, but I do. Oil is great for the skin, but also at the same time, sometimes it clogs the pores. So it's really your preference. I do like using avocado oils. I like sunflower oils, but in this one, I'm not going to use it. So that's all I've got to put in for that. Now, cool down phase. This is the fun part. Why am I putting this down like this? Cool down phase. Water phase, oil phase, and cool down. I'm going to explain. And this one, I want to use witch hazel. I like witch hazel. It's really good for the skin. Nature Silk, I use that a lot. I'm going to use 10% Nature Silk. I'm going to use, let's see. I have to do my calculation to give you the right percent on there. Let's use 5%. Okay, 5% witch hazel. I like using honey. You can use honey. I use chlorhydric acid in mine. I'm going to use 1% chlorhydric acid. I'm not going to put in there. I'm just using an example of different ingredients. So let's just say that's where I wanted to stop. You can put anything in there. It depends. Like I said, do your research. Look at different skincare benefits on those websites. They have a list of all the ingredients. They tell you exactly what's inside of them, what usage percentage. So now that I got this, I'm just going to leave that at that, okay? Nature Silk, witch hazel. I would have put honey. You can, but I'm not. I'm just going to leave this. And now let's do the formulation. You can put whatever it is you want on that. Oh, preservative. Someone said Gurmamol Plus. I use Lucidale SFM. I use 2% of that. But for this one, let's use Gurmamol. 0.5% Gurmamol Plus. So now you've written how did I get my percents? It's right here. The percents is right there. Now we're converting it to grams, right? The percents are already there. You can use whatever percent you want within that range, right? It's up to you. It's up to you and how much you want to give. So I'm going to take and show you how to calculate. How do you calculate? Allerton, 0.5. Your formulation is always 100%, okay? We're going to put 100% equals, I'm doing 60 milligrams in this one. This is a 60 gram. This would be one of the 2 ounces. If you want to up that, times it by 60. Say you want it to do 4 ounces, 118 grams, 120 grams. It's up to you. But let's just stick to this. The percents never change. The grams to increase your batches can change, and I will show you how to do that in a minute. But I have my water phase still up here. So how do I I'm going to calculate all these, right? Let's just do it. Just helping you out here. Hopefully this helps. 0.5 plus 2, 4, 6. How many 2s I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You're adding up those percents. 4% lecithin, 10% cetyl alcohol, emulsifier, wax. You're just adding them all up. All those numbers I just put. 51%. So add up all those numbers. That's it. It's just 0.5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 4% lecithin, 10, 10. You're just adding those numbers up. There's 51. Now the rest of the remaining formulation is going to be distilled water. So do your calculation one more time just to make sure that is correct. 0.5 plus 2% vitamin B, 2% aloe vera, 2% propylene glycol, 2% D-L-cathinol, 2% chamomile. Then my oil phase is 4% plus lecithin, 10. You're just adding these numbers up. 10%, 5, 1.0. So you're just 51%, right? So you're just trying to make sure you understand. You're not doing a calculation that's hard. 0.5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 10 plus 10, etc., etc., right? 51. There's 51 there. I'm going to write that down over here. 51 from 100. 100% is always 100 from 51 is 49% distilled water. 49 distilled water that goes into the water phase. How did I get that? I put all the ingredients I wanted, and then I subtract it from 100, and that gave me 49% water, 49 grams. That's 49 grams. Now let's do the calculation. What am I doing in my calculation, that ratio that they asked me for? Now I have 100% formula, right? Percents. Now I'm converting into grams, and it's very easy. So what I do, each one of those that I just wrote down, 0.5. Let's put 0.5 is divide by 100 equals 0.005. Now I'm going to times it by my batch, which I want to do is 2 ounces, 60 milligrams, 2 ounces. What is that? How do you look that up? Go on Google. What's 2 ounces equal in milligrams? It'll say 60. So times 60 gives me what? 0.30. This is how you convert it into grams, percents into grams. That equals 0.30 grams. See how easy that was? Okay, vitamin B5. This is niacinamide, 2%. So every one of these is time consuming. 2 divided by 100 equals 0.02 times 60, 1.20 grams. Now my aloe vera is the same calculation as that. It's 1. So what do? 2. I'm just doing it just to get divided by 100. 2 divided by 100 times 60. 120 grams. Same thing there. They're both the same thing. Just deal out 120 grams. You would measure it on here, the water phase. Chamomile, 120 grams. These are all grams. Distilled water, 49 divided by 100 equals 0.49 times 60 is 2940 grams. Lecithin, 4 divided by 100 times 60 is 2.40 grams. 2.4. 10 divided by 100 equals 0.1 times 60 is 6 grams. 6 grams. Cetyl alcohol, 6 grams. Now, my nature set, we know that's 6 grams, right? 5% witch hazel, divide 5 divided by 100 times 60 is 3 grams. See that? 1% hyaluronic acid. 1 divided by 100 and times that by 60 is 0.60 grams. Now we're back to that 0.530 grams. Now, watch this. I'm going to add up all these. Now, at the end of the day, I got 100% formula equals. I'm going to add up all those. Should be 60.30 plus 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, 29.4, 2.4, 6 grams, 6 grams, 6, 3.60, 0.30 equals 60 grams. That is how you write a formula. That's 2 ounces. 2 ounces equals 2 ounces. Okay? If I want to increase that, let's say I want, how do you know how to look, how do I know how many your batch is your grams? Your batch is how much you're making of this. You always put 100% of your formula. Always by that percents. Again, you take the percents in the product that you want to use. You decide how much percent you want to use. Say 2, start off with 2, start small and go from there. But always look at how much percent. And then you convert it. How did I convert it? You take that, for example, Allenton 0.5 divided by the 100, that's a percent, times it by your batch. It's always 100%, but you increase this. So how do I know how do I figure that out? Let's go ahead. I know it's long, but I'm trying to help you. I want to give it all so you can be successful in it. You can understand it. I learned this in school, so let's see how do I know? Because when you make you have to put your label on there. Okay, you have to tell them how much your thing is if you put that on the shelf. So how do I know? Okay, so let's say 2 ounces. What is 2 ounces? Let's use 4 ounces in milliliters. Equals 118. Okay, but if you want to add that 2 ounces, so 120. So you just take 60 times 60. Oh, I put 40 ounces. Sorry. No wonder that came out wrong. Two ounces equals in grams. My bad. I put that wrong. So there it is, 0.56. So I rounded off to 60. 2 ounces to grams. Milligrams would be what you had to put on here. So that's 60, right? So that's what you do. That's all. If you want to increase that to 4 ounces, 60 plus 60, 120, and so forth. So that's how you write a formulation. I know that's long and tedious. I made this almost an hour. But let me tell you one other thing you need to do. That's how you do it. pH balance your stuff. Because if you don't pH balance, my face wash should be like a 5.5. You have a natural pH balance in your skin. Let's just say, for argument's sake, because of, you know, wear and tear on the skin, things that you're putting on your skin, it takes your pH level down. You always, a normal pH balance is 5.5. You always want to pH balance your stuff. How do you pH balance? 9%, 9 grams of water and 1 gram of your product. 1 gram. Okay. And then you stick this in there and it will read it. So you want to know. So make sure that those are just the key things. And I just wanted to give you an example of, also, I forgot. Sorry, there's so much to formulate. Water phase, oil phase, and cool down phase. So let me give you an example. Let's say this was my water phase, right? And I have my oil phase and another one of these, right? You put this foil over it, set it on the stove with water, and you for 20 minutes on medium heat. Why am I doing that? For one, it's emulsing the product together, especially the oil phase and the water phase, and it's sanitizing anything that's in there that shouldn't be. It's cleaning it up. So then you want to always take, like, for example, let me get my thing. After you put your whole cool water phase, all that Alton, all that in the water, you always want to take, where did I put my thing at? You always want to know how much that measurement is, because when you put this on the heat, it's going to evaporate some of that water. So example, let's say this is my water phase for argument's sake, right? I'm going to stick that on there. How many grams does that tell me is in there? $434. That's a 4 ounce. But for example, it wouldn't be that. It'd probably be close to 100 and something. So after you put in that water phase, the Alton, distilled water, aloe vera, vitamin B, D-L-Panthenol, chamomile, whatever that is, take it off, put it on there. See how much? Write that down, because when you put that on the stove to sanitize it and to emulge it, what's going to happen is going to evaporate the water. So you always got to know, when it go back afterwards, you're probably going to be off by like 2 grams of water. Then you put more water in it. So after that, then you have to cool it down. Why is it called a cool down phase? Say this was down here, and it's now 120 Fahrenheit. Or what I want to do is, you're going to take this heat gun and you're going to take it down. Why do I need this heat gun on a cool down phase? Some of your ingredients, and you'll read about it, like I said, on Lotion Craft and all those other websites, and also preservatives will not become activated until it's cooled down to the right temperature. So all that for nothing if those ingredients are not cooled down correctly before you put preservatives and some of the other products that you add in at cool down temperature. Example, if I was doing lactic acid, now that's an AAH cream or serum or whatever it is you're using. I don't care what it is. Serums don't go on there, but toners and things. What I would want to do is take that pH level as a 3.51. Otherwise, lactic acid is not activated at anything higher or lower. So you're wasting the ingredient putting it in there. And how do I know this? Again, you look at the ingredients. It's going to tell you it's activated at a certain degrees. Bam. You can get this on Amazon. I think I paid... I don't remember what I paid for this one. This is the best one I found so far. This is like $70 to $100. But your pH balance, why it's so important to pH your skin, because these ingredients are not going to be activated in your skin. You lose cells, you damage skin. That all changes the pH. If you put too many ingredients on your face, like sometimes people are putting over abundance shea butter and formulation. Guess what? Now my pores are clogged. Now my pH level's off. It's not good. So you want to keep it at the same normal pH balance. And this is very easy. I'll do another video. I know this one's kind of long and drained out, but I just wanted to give you an example. Now, I will show you what I made yesterday. This one, I didn't put the lactic acid in it. I made a unique one. I put hyaluronic acid in here. I put honey in it. I put witch hazel. I put nature silk. Oh, smells great. But I just want to show you. I want to show you what a formulation looks like when it is stabilized. This is a stable emulsion. I can look at it right now because I've been doing it for so long and I know it's stable. Last thing you want to do is send something to your customer and guess what? That thing separates and they're looking at you. Because you know what? If you have a customer base, right? Or even a friend, you made something personal for them for a gift and it came out wrong, they'll never want to come to you again for that product. You give yourself get a bad review and you lose business. People, oh, they're judgmental, right? So that is why it is so essential to have a stable emulsion. You want the stablest emulsion that you can get. Why? Because if your customers, you want to give them the best, right? So here's you can get these on there. Like I said, look at this. This is stable. This is a face wash. This has got honey in it. This is awesome. I usually put in my formulations. I put green tea butter in them. I like that, but this time I didn't want to put green tea. But here you go. Look, this is really nice. It feels great on my skin. That's how I know it's a light. But this, oh yeah, this is amazing. This is gonna be real good. It's gonna lather up really good. You can see it already soaping up on my hand a little bit there. But I tried something a little different. I like working with my stuff. But yeah, this is amazing stuff. But like I said, it's up to you. If you turmeric, a person asked me last thing, I'll say, "Ooh, this is so nice on the skin." Turmeric powder. Be very careful how much of that you use in grams. Use 1 gram, maybe 1.20 grams, unless you are doing an exfoliating. What do you call it? Face mask. I have my face mask that I did the other day. I still have some left. I'll show you since you're here. This is, I put this on up there. And get another one because that's already in there. But this stuff right here, oh wow, looks nasty, but boy, this is amazing, amazing. I tried this out. Oh gosh, I put hyaluronic acid, I put nature silk in it, I put honey up in that. I put all kinds of stuff in my thing. But look at it's all jiggly. This is nice on your skin, but if you want to use turmeric, because I tried putting it in there, you want to use very little because that has a strong taste smell to it. It actually is very grindy. I like my stuff to go on the skin. Like I said, that kind of looks like the blob or something. Doesn't look the best, but trust me, on the skin, boy, my skin came out so nice when I put this on my head. I washed my face, it was like a baby's butt afterwards. Very soft, and it's really, you could put any colorant. Colorant? Oh, last thing, glycerin. Let me tell you, micro powders are not water soluble, right? Glycerin. Put a little bitty glycerin and I have another one of these little, this is a beaker, by the way, in a beaker, and put that mica powder, stir it all up, and you can put that at the end of your cool down phase. Otherwise, it's chunky and you want to get it as good as you want. So I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any other videos you would like me to go ahead and do, just reach out to me on TikTok. And I'll go do another video for you. God bless. And keep on doing that great work. You can do this.